Hello, welcome. I am your host, Elizibar. This is the Nocterra Nemesis special, and of course, it's a number one because all comic books have to have a number, apparently. You can't see the. There it is. Now, it's got a different artist than the main series. All these specials have had a different artist, and I think that's maybe the only thing that makes them special, except the Blacktop Bill one, which didn't even need to exist. Even the Val special seemed kind of superfluous. I mean, it explained like where she'd been, but it wasn't necessary to do that. This issue feels like it, except for the different artist, Liam Sharp. This felt like it should have just been the next issue of the book. And I got to tell you, the art was like cool to look at, but I don't know how I feel about a lot of this art. Let me see if I can find the particular panel I'm thinking of. Just give me 1 second here. Nope. Okay. Oh, here it is. It's actually the very last panel of the book. The very last page of the book. This was it. It just kind of looks like mud. It just kind of looks like mud. The I'm trying to like decipher this. I get it. Like this is like the arrival of the big bad or whatever, but it just kind of looks muddy. And a lot of this art does. Some of it's really cool. Like over here, like that's a cool panel. This is cool. Even the little digital effect over here, the lens flare artificially added in Photoshop, like it looks cool because it's broken up with that dude's silhouette. Some of the faces are cool, but just look at this art. It's hard to tell what's going on in some of these panels. It actually looks better in my camera, or up here. Like it looks better on my screen as I'm looking over at my monitor than it does on the paper. Because the paper's glossy. It's got glare on it, man. And at all the angles I'm reading this book, I'm getting glare. But here, for whatever reason, this is like magical. I don't know. So the gist of this is that they are going to a place to carry out Val's plan to do something or other, and at this point I've completely lost track of what we're doing. They made it to Eos, everything went south. I don't even remember what's up. But while they're running, Blacktop Bill and Knox are trying to like brainwash her brother so that they can learn what the plan is. Like that is the bad guy's plan. Is we'll get the plan out of his head because if you remember, he was like turning into a shade and all that. Maybe you don't remember that, but he was totally turned into a shade. And I did not find most of that stuff very compelling, but I did think that this panel right here was really dope. So like Nox is somehow represented with this like tentacle shape because that is a motif that pops up in a lot of this art, kind of like a spiral tentacle or a spiral shell. Looks like that. They keep showing up. If I show you this stuff over here, bottom of the next page, like you can see, you got like those spiral shell lines. So that seems to be like Nox's motif. Is he's some kind of like be-tentacled Cthulhu-esque entity or something like that. They don't use the word Cthulhu-esque or Cthulhu or any tie-in like that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I found very little of the actual writing in this be all that compelling. I flipped through it, I read it, and all I did was look at pretty pictures, and then I had to go back and read text to try to figure out what the pretty pictures meant. I'm not saying there's anything like I'm not putting any of this on Liam Sharp. Like I think this is just like purely the writer trying to write to what the artist can do. You might remember that Starhenge book Liam Sharp did like a year ago, where I'm like, man, this is pretty, but it makes no sense. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Is there's a lot of really cool looking stuff here, and I don't know that it made any sense. I don't know that I'm making any sense trying to talk about this either. Like I feel like I'm just like talking crazy talk as I'm trying to explain what's going on in this to you and what I like and don't like about it. So let me just summarize. Like if you're still with me, you deserve as articulate a summary as I can get. There's some cool looking art in here, but the story it's telling I don't find all that compelling. In fact, I'm not sure there is a story being told here that couldn't have been two panels of the actual Nocterra series. Like After Eos, we ran. My brother had to fight. Was engaged in a struggle of wills with Nox, and then that's the point where you show like this picture, and then you just cut to, but we made it to where we were going, and you're done. You've summed up this entire book. Like that's it. That's the whole story. I feel like I'm being mean, and I'm not trying to be mean. If I'm coming off as mean, I apologize. That is not my intent. I guess I just kind of felt a profound sense of disappointment when I read this because I was kind of hype to see some Liam Sharp art with the storytelling chops that Nocterra gets when it's like really popping, and we didn't get those story bits, and that's kind of why I'm feeling real down. If that makes any sense. Anyway, I want to shut up. You all have a great one. That was the Nocterra Nemesis special. Bye bye. Toodles. Ciao.